Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am on Glacian, which is a planet added by the Kerbal Star Systems 2 mod. It is a part of the Aethera system, and it is about 2 light years from the Kerbal system. Glacian is the 5th planet from the star. In this video, I will show you my space plane that I brought my Kerbals here with, and I will also show you my dome base and as well as the lander factory that started everything here. Looking at the space plane, the wings are from the OPT Spaceplanes mod, and the fuselage is from MK4 expansion. It has 2 of the Project ELU multi-mode nuclear engines on the back, which can use simply the atmosphere to create thrust, and when in a vacuum it can run on liquid fuel and gets a good amount of efficiency with quite high thrust. There are also 2 Rapier engines, but I am pretty much just using them on the closed cycle mode. On the bottom of the space plane, I have 10 liquid fuel and oxidizer aerospike engines, which combined have quite a lot of thrust and gives the spaceplane a VTOL thrust-to-weight ratio of about 1.4 on Kerbin's gravity. This high thrust in a VTOL capability is necessary for landing on Glacian, which has about 1.3 g of surface gravity and 0.4 atmospheres at the surface. But the atmosphere is very thin and only extends about 40 kilometers into space, which makes landing here quite challenging. Going inside the spaceplane, we can walk around the cockpit and crew area using the free IVA mod, and as you can see, it's quite detailed in here and there's quite a lot to look at. There is a full set of avionics for each of the pilot seats in the cockpit, and the interior of the crew cabin is also quite detailed. The spaceplane has a crew capacity of 12 in the crew cabin and 7 in the cockpit module. Moving on to the dome base, you can see that it has been built in several segments, and I believe these crew modules are mostly from the PlanetSide Exploration mod. The space has a greenhouse and several laboratories. There is also quite a few habitation modules. Going inside, I will speed this up because the base is quite big, but as you can see, every part on the base has an interior that you can walk around with the free IVA mod. I wanted to only use parts that have support for free IVA because I like how you can traverse the entire base without even going outside. Moving on to the lander factory, as you can see, it is quite a tall and bulky craft. It started out with just 2 drills, and the interior has everything from smelters to part and ore storage containers and everything you need to create new crafts for your colony. By now I also have a K&K module, which I am using for storage and nuclear fuel production. The dome base was built entirely by this lander module, which before actually had launch pads, but they since blew up by the Kraken. Landing this base module here was also quite difficult, and I had a sort of rocket sky crane attached to the top with a high thrust-to-weight ratio to actually be able to land it here. In total, I have about 25 Kerbals at this surface colony on Glacian. This small rover was brought by the MK4 spaceplane to bring replacement launch pads and other materials in the inventory. That is pretty much the entirety of my Glacian colony, aside from the metal hydrogen lander I have around 6 kilometers away from here. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.